What is up, people? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. My name is Nick. You can check me out on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram at the Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more, including following on all my other socials. We are doing something we haven't done in a while because I really just haven't had time to sit down and really talk about it, and I wish I did. We are doing a manga review, and not just a volume. We're doing the complete series of Kingdom of Z, 1 through 6, published in America by 7 Seas. Recently, they both released, and I was able to find and read Volume 6 after a long hiatus. I believe 5 came out in America very long after the first 4. And it took me a very long time to find that, read that, and then finally I saw that this was being released, and I never saw it in any of my Barnes and Nobles or anything. And finally, I picked it up in the city at Kinokuniya, and I was able to just recently read it. And I want to talk about not just this. If you check out my Instagram, there is a write-up about this, but I want to talk about the whole series because it's only 6 volumes. I believe it's only 45 chapters, I want to say. They label the chapters as days, but I feel like there's time skips in between that. But we'll talk about that at the end. Stay tuned because I am in the process of reading Windbreaker. I read it on the Viz app, the first chapter for free, and I loved it. So when this got released, I definitely had to get it. It is a bigger volume, so very excited to talk about that when I get around to that, as well as I'm gonna do, probably when I get to volume 5, I'm gonna do a 5-volume review of Furion. Okay, so Kingdom of Z, released in Japan whenever, because it's always different than America, but I believe in 2021. It was either probably about the beginning to middle of 2021, I found the first volume of Kingdom of Z. I read it, and I loved it. So I got volumes 2, and I pre-ordered volume 3. Then I was able to get volume 4 at Barnes & Noble, waited a very long time, got volume 5, and then eventually 6. So all these have basically been released in the last 2 years in America. So concept, zombie apocalypse, obviously Z. Zombie apocalypse, we're in Japan, mostly around the Tokyo area. We follow our protagonists are 2 schoolgirls and a high school age boy who was on the baseball team but wasn't that good, wasn't super popular, but like kind of on the fringe, right? These girls were kind of like not really involved, not very popular, just kind of off. These girls, spoiler alert, are freaking crazy. And they basically have this whole, everyone's just trying to like survive the zombie apocalypse. They're running around, they're trying not to get attacked. These 2 girls have a world dominating plan, which they slowly develop, mostly this girl being the muscle, and the boy ended up being their lackey. Basically have this slowly develop this plan to take over step by step, controlling zombies, creating an army, taking over, moving from the high school to a university, getting bigger and taking on small things, building roads, stuff like that, which is incredible to think in a zombie apocalypse. And it'd be incredible that 2 high school girls are the ones that come up with this. Action-packed, a lot of cool fight scenes, a lot of really interesting like thought processes here. Oh, this is one of them together. I really enjoyed like the way they explain, the way they detail the extra like data sheets that they provide in between chapters to give you like a laydown, how they play out days and movements. The characters are pretty well developed. The side characters that slowly help them out, like every once in a while, get good development. It really picks up when this girl is introduced. When this girl is introduced, it turns out that they're trying to bait and capture. When the apocalypse hit, there was a huge boxing tournament, right, happening, and the strongest boxers in the world were going to be there. Were there. So when they got turned, or whoever, they were basically trapped in there. It was sealed off. So there's just zombies that are incredible fighters trapped in there. So their plan was to go there and lure them, capture them, get them in a van, take them back, lock them in the cage, and then when they needed them, they would release them and they would fight off people, and then they would lure them back into their cage, right? Well, it turns out this girl, whose dad was involved over there, she can control them. She's a zombie master, which we find out in 6. There's multiple zombie masters. So that's our first tease at zombie masters. This girl who's developing her powers, and they help her and they save her and they take care of her. She grows up with them, and that's really cool. That was when the story really got interesting. It was interesting, but when it really got like, oh, this is like huge. Like there's like people are being modified. Like they have powers. They can control zombies. That's weird. Z5, we meet this professor and we get more involved. The university, we get bigger and experiments and all sorts of really cool stuff. Also, throughout the whole thing, the artwork is pretty solid. It's clean, it's crisp, it's anything you would expect from a modern anime, modern manga. Just crisp. Nothing cartoony, nothing too much. But this prolongs the story, right? Or pushes it forward, really builds it up. And then 6 was really good. The last volume of the series was a lot of fun. The ending is really cool. I'm really happy that they like go on another adventure and like they leave, the university that's gotten huge and have all these roads and this big oasis to protect people. They've been just taking out all these different zombie masters and building their team, and they're off doing whatever they want. I love that. I love that ending for this series. I like the friendship here. This is the first cover that feature him, I believe. He's awesome. And yeah, I really enjoyed the build up and the characters that tag along and the development that they get, and the character development in general is really solid and consistent throughout each volume and chapter. And I hope that there's a follow-up series. I don't know. Obviously, it would hit Japan first and then America later on. But I would love to, because these characters are really interesting. They're a lot of fun to tag along with and see them take on the... That's the one thing, is that 5 and 2 switch the numbers, so you can't, like, do this. But 3... Oh, 3 and 4 is like that, that's weird. Little weird changes like that nitpick me. I like the spines. The colors here on the spines are great. The fact that we get the characters across, is it all right? So it's similar versions. All right, it's readaptations of the covers on the spines. I love the 7 Seas logo. I love the Kingdom Z logo. And I like the artwork on the spines. Backs were really cool too. So packaging wise, awesome issue, awesome volumes. The story was great. The characters are great. Everything about this was great. Out of 5, I'm gonna give this a 4 point. As a series, I'm gonna give this like a 4.7, 4.8. It's really good. If you like zombie apocalypse, you're okay with some like weird, like sometimes it borders on like every volume had like one like inappropriate scene that like kind of was like, okay, this is a little too far, but like it would last like a page and that was it. But that would only be like them working the schoolgirl angle. Nothing lasted too much. I didn't even realize they were going to play on that until like the end of volume 1. Volume 2 didn't do anything with it. Volume 3 I think had one panel. Volume 4 didn't do anything with it. I think volume 5 did like an extra included story that like messed around with that fact, and then 5 had 1 panel or 2 panels, or 6 had 2 panels at the end. So they kind of avoided it as much as they could, while also using that as like a way to pull readers in, using that weird genre in manga and anime. But it was really well done. It was really action packed, a lot of cool fight scenes, a lot of really interesting puzzles that they created and got through. Kingdom of Z volumes 1 through 6, all 45 chapters, excellent. 4.8. Remember, guys, this is the Home of the Lamest Hates. This is The Vinyl Casket. I'm Nick, and you can check out my YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch over at The Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more. Do me a massive favor and stay lame.